Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about domestic abuse, domestic violence. Now, as soon as you hear that, we all know the story. We all know the story, right? Some dickhead, some jerk is beating his woman. Well, that's obviously the most popular kinds of domestic violence, and I'm not going to address that. Although maybe I probably should, and address guys who think they have a right to smack their woman around. It's pure weakness. And don't let a woman come to a guy like me and explain to me how her dude is beating her up. Because I'm going to come beat you up. And trust me, I can beat you up. Now, I want to talk about domestic violence in reverse. Reverse domestic violence. Just like reverse racism. Reverse domestic violence is where the woman beats up the man. It happens. It absolutely happens. And it's not just physical abuse. There's all kinds of verbal abuse that men put up with. And when you think of domestic violence in reverse like this, where a man is being abused by a woman, in my head, I don't know what you think of, in my head I get this picture of some tiny little emasculated nerd and some big fat kind of angry butch bully of a woman. But that's not the scenario. It's very often some pretty little petite, little cutie pie, and some big dude, and she's abusing him verbally and physically. If a woman is abusing you in any way, if she's talking bad to you, saying nasty things to you, dump her. Dump her immediately. Dump her today. Get rid of her. Be lonely. Sleep alone and jack off. You would rather, I'm telling you, you would rather suffer the pain of loneliness than to have to sleep on the edge of that bed or on the sofa or out in your pickup truck, wherever she fucking makes you sleep, walking on pins and needles, feeling emasculated and rejected and shameful of who you are because she's being so manipulative and mean. Oh, I've seen this relationship. My brother was in a relationship like this many years ago, and I begged him. Every time I saw him, I begged him to get out of that relationship. I sat him down one day and explained to him how he's really on a dangerous edge right here, where I'm about to lose all respect for you as a man. And when that happens, our relationship changes. You need to handle your business. Luckily, he did. I don't know why some guys put up with this stuff. Maybe it's just because they're lonely and they feel like they'll never get another girl again. But you can't put up with it. You have to be able to risk loneliness. No one is worth your happiness. No one is worth being around if they make you unhappy. There was a guy that lived down the street with his woman. It was her house. They lived together there as a couple. They had limousines all over the fucking property. Oh my God, like 30 of them, maybe 20 of them, a bunch of them, old ones. And the chick, I talked to her one time, she's so stupid, she didn't know how to say the word limousine because she's trailer trash, meth head redneck. So she called them stretch cars. I got all these stretch cars. Stretch cars. They're fucking limos, bitch. Nonetheless, the cops were out front of their house at least 2-3 times a week. They lived just a couple houses down. They'd been long gone, but the house is still there. And 2-3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, those police would be sitting right out in front of the house with the lights on. Sometimes 2 cop cars. Now, I don't like that shit. I'm a former criminal that's reformed and, gone straight. Now all I do is just help people get their lives together. But that triggers me, man. I don't like coming home or looking out the window and seeing police on my block. This block I live on is a quiet residential street. Everybody has a job, everybody's got money, everybody's got nice cars. We do not need police on our block, not on this block. And they're bringing them by here all the time, and I thought it was the dude. Every time I see the dude, I'd start judging him. Rather large, bald head, tattooed guy, and looks similar to me. But I'd judge him as a prison boy, as a meth head, as a drug addict, as a loser, as a dumbass. Oh, I had all kinds of judgments swirling around this guy. Every time I would see him, I'd just be like, ugh, what a piece of crap. Well, one day he's standing out front of his house with a big giant green duffel bag, one of those old army duffel bags. I used to have one. And he waves me down, and I pull over, roll the window down, and his eyes are all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And he's like, please, brother, I know you don't like me, but please, can you drive me to the bus stop? I got to get out of here, man. I got to get out of here right now. And at first I was going to be like, fuck you, fuck off. But then I thought, you know, if I give him a ride to the bus stop, he's got all his life in that bag. This gets rid of him. This gets rid of the problem. So yeah, I'll drive you, I'll get rid of you, I'll help you get out of here. So he throws his bag in the back and jumps in the front, jumps in the seat next to me, and we drive off. We were in the middle of the block before we even hit the end of the block at the stop sign, because I got a stop sign at the end of the block that direction. Before we even hit the stop sign, I look over to this guy and I hit him hard with it. I ask him, so what's your fucking problem? He's like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean, don't play stupid with me. How come you got the fucking cops coming by my block, coming by your house several times a week? What the hell's up with that? I told him straight out, I don't like cops coming on my block ever. I don't ever want to see a police officer drive down this street. I don't ever want to see a police officer parked on my street for any reason at all, ever. And it's all you. So you need to start explaining yourself to me right here, right now. Why is this happening? What the fuck is wrong with you? He could tell how angry I was, and I was a lot more aggressive and dangerous of a person than he could ever imagine being. And he's in my truck, so he probably felt rather trapped and intimidated. And he starts explaining. And he tells me, look, bro, I know what you're thinking, but you're wrong. And he told me straight out, you're wrong. You're wrong about me. I'm not the one abusing her. She's abusing me. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're a big giant dude. How could you let some tiny little chick abuse you? And he's like, dude, it's not like that we're going toe-to-toe in a fight. Here's an example, he says. He said, just last night, I was making dinner for her. I make dinner for her all the time. Used to be a cook. I make all the meals. She doesn't cook ever. So I'm making her dinner, as I always do. And she starts bitching and moaning about something in the living room. I could barely even hear her because the music is up. She comes storming into the kitchen, grabs a vodka bottle, and smashes him over the back of the head in the neck and shoulder area. And he shows me the bruise, a big giant purple bruise. It was like a full bottle. He talked about how she pulled a knife on him, how he has had countless scenarios where when he comes home, it's like the Green Hornet, where like the old show where Bruce Lee would be hiding, Kato would be hiding for the Green Hornet, and he would jump out and attack him every day when he would come home. This is like what this chick does to her husband. And he says, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of being attacked. I'm sick of it. It turned out he was a very articulate, mild-mannered, very nice guy, and I had him pegged completely 100% wrong. And I drove him to the bus stop. I even gave him $20 so he could get a little further on his journey because he was flat broke. He thanked me profusely, and I basically, not saved his life, but I helped a person flee a very bad, very dangerous domestic violence situation. It's just weird that it was a guy. And this absolutely does happen. If you know a guy who is being verbally or physically abused by a woman, you need to intervene. Shake that motherfucker until he understands. You cannot allow a woman or anyone on this earth to abuse you, to attack you, to physically assault you, to harm you in any way, shape, or form ever. Be a man.